Hey folks, it's Brett Pruitt with Full Time in My RV, and kind of want to give you a 3 month update on living in an RV. And I start each video basically telling you what I live in. I've got a 2005 Keystone Martana 3500 RL that I bought used for $16,900 from Carpenter's Campers in Pensacola. Big plug to Carpenter's Campers. They treated me very well, and the nice thing about buying a camper from those guys is when you buy something that's 8 years old, you know you're going to get some problems that come with it. Even though this thing is almost in pristine condition, interior wise, exterior wise, whatnot. Just having an 8-year-old camper, you're going to have issues like the roof needing to be scraped and resealed and things of that sort. And they went through this thing with a fine tooth comb, front to back, and gave me an idea of what it was that I was buying before I paid, gave them the check, and that was nice. As well as they were able to give me some good deals on repairs. So I think by the time I paid for the camper and got the repairs in, I was right at about $18,000. And you really can't complain there. We're going to kind of go over why it is that I moved into the RV, and then we'll go into more of the review side of it. The main reason I bought the RV is where I work at. I work for the state. In order to move up the food chain, I have to be able to move in order to get those promotions. And I realized real quick that if, being that I was in an apartment that was costing me $760 a month, was 1,100 square feet. And I mean, we're talking a nice apartment from where I live in this area. It would equate to, somebody in, say, New York would probably pay, $5,000 a month for the same thing that I had or more. But at any rate, I realized real quick that it was going to cost me $2,000 to $3,000 each time that I had to move. And that, and in addition to that, for the next 14 years between now and the time that I retire at 55, which is what my plan is, I'm just throwing money down a hole for rent, knowing that I want to retire to Tennessee and live in the mountains. So when I moved into the RV, the total cost that I've got out of pocket is about $400 a month if you factor in land rent, electricity, which now is $35 a month instead of $120 a month, and the camper payment. And that's one of the benefits of working for the state is I do get a cheaper slip rental, but then again, they don't pay us a whole lot. So my goal, and this goes into the saving money section, I'm saving right now almost $700 a month living in this RV versus what I was paying before between travel costs and everything else. All of that money is going into investments for my retirement. Each time that I promote, the difference in what it's costing me to live now, adjusted for inflation each time, all of that difference in that money, that's going into my retirement investments. So that's what's going to help me to be able to retire and not do like a lot of my coworkers have had to do, which is, get their pension and then come back to work in order to get their health care taken care of. I won't have to worry about that when I do retire. A third thing is an added benefit that I didn't expect was I knew I was going from 1,100 square feet to about 400 square feet. And, that did present a little bit of a challenge for me because there were certain things that I had in my house that I always wanted, to have. But I don't miss any of it. In fact, it's easier to keep this place clean, which is great because as a single guy that has an active dating life, the last thing that you want to do is to come home and, your house looks like garbage and you're trying to bring your girlfriend over and you're running this giant let's stuff everything in the damn closet and hope she doesn't open it up deal. That's one of the benefits of living in 400 square feet. It's real easy to keep clean. Now, as far as creature comforts at home went down, I actually stepped up. My apartment, I didn't have a nice electric fireplace unit and a surround sound system all wired in with a big screen TV, which is what I do have in here. And that's, a good benefit is, I didn't have to give up a lot of the creature comforts. So now what I'm going to do is kind of jump over into what I've learned, what little time I've been here. First thing I've learned is I don't miss the extra space. As I mentioned before, it's a lot easier to keep clean. I've got all the creature comforts of home. It's a great conversation starter. When people find out that I live full-time in a fifth wheel, they all kind of raise an eyebrow initially until they start to understand and I start showing them pictures, which I may actually do a picture slideshow and put it on YouTube for you guys pretty soon. And they start seeing pictures of what it is that I live in, and the same comment comes up each time. God, that's nicer than my house. So it's a great conversation starter, and people start to get curious about, what's it like in storms and things of that sort since we live in Florida. and I will actually get to that in some other videos down the road. And you know, the fourth thing is it hasn't impacted my dating life any. In fact, actually, a lot, you know, with a little bit of dating I've done at the time that I've lived in here, um, the women are very impressed with the way that the fifth wheel's set up, and they can see that down the road travel lifestyle come in, where you can drag the creature comforts of home with you. And so that's something that, you know, a lot of people don't talk about online, but I thought was kind of interesting, thought I'd throw in the video. I do have a couple of tips real quick. We're going to try to keep this video short because I've got a few other videos we're going to make talking about a lot of the tips and tricks. But number one, I work midnights currently. So I highly recommend for anybody that's like me that works midnights and doesn't want all that sun, get you some, like the sunshades you see behind me here. Get you some of those just auto sunshades that you can put up in your windows to block a lot of that light out. The other added benefit is it also blocks out any of the heat. Again, I live in Florida and it's summertime. And even though my AC is very efficient, it does a good job of about freezing you out of the house. The minute you sit in front of one of those windows, that sunlight coming through there is hot as you know what. So, you know, take some time, go get you a few of those. They're real cheap. You can get them for about $3-4 a piece. Put them up in the windows. The beautiful thing about them is they're accordion, so you just fold them back down and put them up, and you know, you can raise your day-night shades and whatnot. Because believe it or not, those day-night shades, even in the night, even when you pull down the nightshade portion of it, will not block enough of the light and the heat coming from sun in the summertime. Get a countertop ice maker. Your refrigerators operate on a absorption principle, so they've got these heat sink fins in the back, and what they actually do is they absorb the heat in the refrigerator out. The theory is that where there's no heat, there's cold, and that takes up quite a bit of room in your refrigerator, so you don't have as much room as you would in like a household refrigerator. Secondly, you don't want to eat up your freezer space with ice cubes. Because you don't have a lot of space in these refrigerators, and you also don't want to pack everything close together, because you know you want to put a little fan in there like I've got to help circulate that air through the refrigerator, and that's what helps to keep your food cool. You also want a little thermometer in your refrigerator to make sure that it's staying at the right temperature. But to get back to the ice maker, I've got a countertop ice maker. There's a video of some gadgets that I recommend, and that's on there. This thing makes 17 pounds ice a day. Every 6 minutes, it puts out more ice cubes. And, you know, I just fill it with bottled water, so I don't have any weird flavored ice cubes. Anybody that's ever been camping knows that camping water, you know, shore water is not always the best flavor. So those are just a couple of quick tips. I'll tell you, I don't miss, you know, living in the stick frame apartment with all that extra room. I've absolutely enjoyed living in the fifth wheel. If you buy one that's well insulated, like, you know, I've got the Keystone Montana, you know, it keeps a lot of the sound that you would normally get into your house down. These things are very, very quiet. I seldom get woke up during the daytime, and even with, you know, the cutting of the grass of the facilities out there, you know, I've got a little corner fan, which I do highly recommend getting some fans. To help circulate some of the air. Plus, just that little bit of that noise from that fan will help drown out anything that is outside that's loud, because it's very quiet in here, but you can still hear a lawnmower, and that fan helps to drown that sound out. So thanks for watching this update video. Come back and see. We're going to see us some more. I'm going to put 20 tips up pretty soon, and a couple of 10-tip videos to keep them nice and short. And I think I will put up a pictorial of the camper, because my little video camera that I had, the flip share, has finally died, and now I've got to buy a new one of those. So again, this is Brett Pruitt with Full Time in My RV. Thanks for watching the video.